Good morning, class 5. Myself, Ranjit Kumar. I welcome you all in the e-learning program of Modern English School, Kunti Nagar, Nevada. This is the second revision video lecture of the chapter Animal World. So, in this, we are going to we will see some remaining portion of this chapter. Second is feeding habit. Feeding means food, taking food. First, why do we take food? All living organisms take food to remain healthy, growth and develop. Means all living organisms require food for remaining healthy. They want to grow and develop. They need food. According to the food they eat, they have different mouth parts. Okay. So coming to the point, herbivores. Herbivores, animals that eat only plant and plant products are called herbivores, like cow, buffalo, deer. These are the example of the herbivores. They have sharp front teeth. This is called incisor, which help them into the cut into the food, and they also have grinding teeth, that is molar, for grinding the food. Okay, herbivores have two important points that you have to remember. They have sharp blade like front teeth called incisor, and they have grinding teeth for chewing the food and incisor to cutting the food. Next is carnivores. Animals that eat only animals that eat only flesh of other animal is called carnivores. Lion, tiger, these are the example of the carnivores. They have sharp pointed front teeth, that is called canine, and which they use to tear the flesh. So carnivores have sharp pointed teeth which help them to tear the flesh. Next is omnivores. Omnivores includes omnivores include crow, bear. These animals are called omnivores because they eat both plant as well as animals. So they are called omnivores. Next is rodents. Rodents like rat, squirrels, rabbit, they are called rodents. They have long two pointed teeth which they use to gnaw the food, to kutarna, gnawing the food they use for gnawing the seed or nuts. This is called rodents. Means these animals are called rodents because they gnaw their food. Next is insects. Insects have, like mosquito, they have sharp needle like teeth, mouth part, which they use to suck blood. Next is butterflies and bees. They have long cylinder tube like structure which is called proboscis, and which they used for sucking that nectar, means for sucking or taking nectar from the flower. Flower means a nectar. So the butterflies and bees, they use proboscis to take nectar from the flower. Next is frogs. Frogs, lizard, they have sticky tongue which they shoot at the insect, and this sticky tongue get stick on the surface of the insect which they eat. So frogs and lizard, they have sticky tongues which help them to take food. Next is birds. Birds have beaks and claws. Birds have beaks and claws which they use, for taking their food. So different animals have different mouth part which help them into feeding. Next topic is movement in animal. Next is movement. Animals move from one place to another. Why did they move from one place to another? In search of food, for protecting themselves from enemies, and to build their area, to build to for finding a place for resting and breeding. So animal move from one place to another in search of food, for protection from enemies, and finding a place where they can rest and breed. Okay, so different animal move differently. For example, if I am talking about aquatic organism like fish, they move from one place to another with the help of fins. Fins, they help them to swim into the water, and with the help of fins and tail, it also can change its direction. So fish have fins and tail which help them to move from one place to another. Next is turtle and tortoise. They have paddle like limbs. Turtle and tortoise, they have paddle like limbs, like this, paddle like limbs, which they use to swim in the water and also to walk or the slide on the land. So turtle and tortoise have paddle like limbs. Frogs have webbed foot. Webbed foot, this is the finger. If this area is having some jhilli-numa structure, or it is having some structure, some layers in between, then we can say it is webbed. So frogs have webbed like foot which they use for swimming in the water. Next, they use their hind limb to hop from one place to another. एक जगह से दूसरे जगह मूव करने के लिए ये यूज करते हैं in water. Since frogs are amphibians, they can swim in water also and they can move on land also. Next is penguins. Penguins have flippers. Flippers they use for sliding on the snow, and also they use same flipper for swimming in water. So like this, penguins move from one place to another. Insects have 6 legs. Insects have 6 legs which they use for movement from one place to another. Some example like grasshopper, they have a strong hind limb, means 4 पीछे का जो पैर होता है वो बहुत मजबूत होता है, which they use to hop from or jump from one place to another. And some animals, some insect like termites, they crawl on the ground, रेंग की जाते हैं एक जगह से दूसरे जगह पे. So such animal crawl, such insects crawl. Next is birds. Birds move from one place to another with the help of the wings. Wings are connected to strong muscles of the body which help them to move, to fly. These muscles help the birds to flap the wings so that they can fly. Some birds like penguins, like ostrich, like emu, they do not fly. They cannot fly. Such birds are called flightless birds. Okay. Next is reptiles. Reptiles means the snake. They have scales on their body, and with the strong muscles in the body, they crawl on the ground, and while crawling, body should not get hurt. That's why this scale help them into crawling. It is tough substance, and as we have seen in that the last video, the body covering, they have tough body cover, that is called scale. This scale help or protect their body from damage while crawling. And some like lizards, they also have limbs with the help of which they can move from one place to another. Next is mammals. Mammals have four limbs. Limbs means the part that is come out of the body. This is the main body and this is the limb. This is the limb. These two legs are the limbs. So all mammals have four limbs. Like cows, buffalo, they use four limbs to move from one place to another. In case of human beings and some primates like monkeys, or chimpanzee, what they will do, they will use their hind limb to move from one place to another. And sometimes in human being we use always, but in chimpanzees and monkeys they will use sometimes their hind limb. These two are called hind limbs. Sorry. These two are called four limbs, means आगे का, and the legs are called hind limb. So we use our forelimb to hold or catch substance, and with the help of hind limbs we move from one place to another. Okay. And the last topic is migration. Migration. What is migration? Mass movement of the organism from one place to another in search of food or to protect themselves from harsh weather condition is called migration. Mass movement of the organism or animal from one place to another in search of food or to avoid harsh weather condition is called migration. Migration is seen in Arctic tern, Siberian crane, salmon and locusts and monarch butterflies. These are the example of the organism that can migrate from one place to another. So you will remember these names, these organisms, they migrate from one place to another. This is called migration. Okay. So if anyone have any problem, you can ask in the morning. Thank you.